Hello, welcome to day 5 of my 30-day unscripted video challenge that I created and started for myself. So the video prompt for today is something that I'm grateful for. So this might be like an obvious one. I'm grateful for my baby. I'm so grateful for her. So I guess the thing about this season what's particular, I guess, about this season is that I never envisioned myself as being a mom. I mean, I assumed that eventually at some point I would become a mom, but it wasn't something that I like dreamt about or that I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait until I become a mom or anything like that, honestly. Whenever I would think about my future as I was a young adult or like my career or things like that, I would imagine myself as someone either that was like a businesswoman or someone that was like, super high up in the corporate ladder, wearing heels and a briefcase. I don't know why I envisioned a briefcase. And it's always something that has been pretty much engraved in me growing up, building a career for myself. So that's something that I've pursued pretty passionately, I guess, or it's just always been my main focus. For some reason, I've set my identity, I believe, in what I do for a living and whether I'm making enough money or not. And not necessarily on who I am, but what I do. I'm not sure if this is related to ADHD. I know I keep talking about ADHD. I guess it's not that I make it a part of my identity, but I guess I was diagnosed like recently or less than 2 years ago. So in a sense, it's kind of fairly new to me. So I like to understand what is something that I have because of ADHD and what is just a personality thing, because then I know if it's just my brain or if it's just who I am, if that makes sense. So what I was gonna say is that I'm not sure if this is an ADHD thing, the wanting to do things. I mean, there is a hyperactivity or hyperactive in the ADHD name. But what I was going to say is not necessarily the fact of doing things for the sake of being busy, but doing things because if you don't, then you don't feel worthy. Like that's something that's very engraved in me that today I keep just fighting against all the time. That I'm a human being, not a human doer, right? That it's enough for me to just be. That it's enough for me to just, my company is valuable enough. I don't have to be providing value or giving advice or, bringing something or gifting stuff. Like just my company is enough. Just being is enough, if that makes sense. Like my worth does not have to be attached to what I do, but to who I am, my values, and things like that, I guess. So all that to say, being a mom, even though it's a job that requires a lot of active work, like carrying her, holding her, feeding her, and all of those things, I feel it's more about being, right? It's about nurturing, about loving. And these are things that come from being. They're not like busy activity, things that you're doing, if that makes sense. So since it's not attached to doing stuff, in a sense, it's not something that I aspired to. So whenever we got married, I did work as a nanny for a few years. And so I kind of knew the sacrifice it took to have kids. And that plus being a mom not being something that I necessarily aspired to be. Not that I did not want to be that, but I didn't aspire to be that. We were like, let's just wait a couple more years. And when we got married, let's just wait a couple more years until we start having kids. And then the 2-year mark happened, and we're like, let's just wait another more year. And then 3 years passed, and like, let's just wait another more year. And it was like that until like we've been married for like 5-6 years, and we didn't have kids. And the reason why we had kids is because my clock was ticking. I turned 35 last year, and that's the kind of the limit that I had set for myself to start trying to have babies. We did have a miscarriage first, and I think during that pregnancy, obviously it was so real that's when it really hit me like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be a mom. And the desire, I guess, to want to be a mom became even stronger after the loss, because now it wasn't just about being a mom, but also having that certainty or understanding that I was able to have a baby, you know, that I could get pregnant, that I could bring a baby to full term. And so anyways, all that to say is, now that I am a mom, now that I have her in my arms, it's honestly one of the most beautiful things. It's just so beautiful. And it's just so, it might sound cliche. I don't know. It just sounded cliche to me. Everyone would tell me, once you have kids, you'll understand. And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure. Well, my identity is not going to be in being a mom. Like, my life's not going to be just about being a mom. And I would, you know, think things like that. And I don't want to be just a mom. But, you know, during the pregnancy, that's something definitely that has shifted. I still have my own dreams and ambitions and things that I want to do, and things that I want to, you know, give to the world and all of that. That's why I'm, you know, continuing to practice, putting myself out there. Right now, I want to become better at communicating without necessarily having a script, and all of these things like I've shared in my other videos. So I still have other things that I want to do, but if I were just a mom, that's still, you know, enough. That's still a lot. But yeah. Like, it's like the main role is one of the most important things that I know I'm gonna do. Like, that's the biggest legacy that I'm gonna leave, is what I leave to my kids, how I raise them, the values that I instill in them. Like my mentor shares, the Bible says that the children are like arrows in the hands of the warrior, right? So depending on you, it depends how far your kids will go. And so it's a big mission, you know. It's a strong purpose. It's not the only purpose I believe that God has for my life. I am still pursuing my own, because I want her to pursue her own purpose, you know. So, and I'm all about modeling. I don't like just teaching things, I like showing things. So how can I inspire her or encourage her to step into her purpose and live out what God has called her to live out if I'm not doing the same, you know? So motherhood, I believe, is my main purpose. But I do believe that God has different callings and assignments for my life besides being a mom. And anyways, I'm just really grateful. I'm really grateful for her, because I believe that having her has matured my perspective, has helped me understand the value of moms, the value of just being, really, and how valuable it is to be a nurturer, to be a loving person, and just like to be, you know. It really, really makes a difference. And I'm learning all of that during this season, you know, self-sacrifice, just thinking about others before I think about myself, like all of these different things. It's just so much growth that comes with her, and she's just precious. So anyways, so that's my video of the day. What I'm grateful for today is this little one. And yeah, I hope you found this valuable in some reason, in some way, or resonated with this. If you do, comment below. I need to stop now. Okay, bye.